Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, again, I'm going to talk about the crops farmer. I will be comparing BUSD and USDC and BNB Crops Farmer. Those are the three projects that their team had launched in the past over the course of 3 weeks or so. And also, the team is launching the same on Phantom Network as well tomorrow. So I wanted to compare the contract balance of these three projects. Also downloaded all the transactions of these farmers, so I can take a deep dive into what's happening there. So let's take a look at the first BNB Crops Farmer. So this is the chart where you can see the contract balance, where you have the deposit amount and withdrawal amount. Deposits in blue and withdrawal amount in red. So as you can see, there's been a lot of hype on the first day, which is normal. It's seen everywhere on every single baked beans fork. So I'm not surprised. Today it's the 5th of May, hasn't finished, so the data is halfway through, but already we see that the withdrawal amount is catching up with the deposit already. So what's happening here is that the guy that, those guys that have deposited on the first day, so the day of the launch, they can start withdrawing their rewards today. So that's why we are seeing that the withdrawal and deposit amounts are kind of like similar here. And most likely, this will drag on till tomorrow because there are people, these folks from the USD Crops Farmer have the accumulation of 40, up to 48 hours, right? So you will see the withdrawal amount probably maybe higher tomorrow by these wallets that have deposited on the day of the launch. So what probably you could predict is the TVL goes down slightly, and then afterwards, after a couple of days, probably when the guys from the second day and the third day, when they get to withdraw rewards, then probably you won't notice much of the dip in the contract balance because the amount is not that much. And then by that time, all these guys from the first day deposit, they have withdrawn their first rewards already. So, the balance will be kept kind of okay there. So that's how I see these charts. And also the second chart, so this is it's the same, but the yellow line being the percentage of withdrawal amount over deposit amount. So as you can see, since this is the first day of withdrawal for the wallets that were since launch, deposited on the first day, so that's why this yellow line skyrocket. And most likely tomorrow it will be something like this as well. Okay, so that's so the key here for the BNB Crops Farmer is they have to go hard on marketing. Otherwise, this probably the TDL will have trouble going up. But the team, it seems like their efforts elsewhere are, launching exactly the same on Phantom. So we'll see. But once we start to see decline in TDL, um, it's it can be hard to go back up, right? Um, all right, so that's the BNB Crops Farmer, and they had launched the AVAX counterpart, and this is not doing really well. This was launched on the 22nd of April. The usual hype on the first day, but I think when they launched this project, people were more keen on the first one, BUSD Crops Farmer. So, uh, the ones that were interested in these projects deposited on the first one and not the second one. As you can see, the TVL slowly is declining, and I don't know if they can go hard on marketing on this as well. And then finally, the very first one, USD Crops Farmer. So as you can see, the TVL still growing, but you will expect to see the big withdrawal amount today and tomorrow. Um, so we'll see. But still, the deposit amount is growing, which is nice. Especially from the second and third, when it went down, but on the fourth it went back up, so which is good. But again, every time it's harder to sustain the TDL because you have to sustain all the wallets that have deposited so far, and once every 6 days they have to withdraw. So that's why um, every time it's going to be harder for the TVL to keep going up. So maybe soon we'll get to a point where we start to see a decline in the balance. And the guys were doing, introducing new feature because they can add variables or change variables in the contract. So if we go back to here, you can see, so instead of the 30% or 25% initially, you can get the higher bonus up to 40%. So they're doing stuff to try to get people to compound instead of withdrawing. So let's see how it. So I don't know if it's gonna work or not because the compulsory one without a heavy penalty is 10 times compound. So not sure if I reckon the majority of people won't compound up until 40% max. If we go down, then this is the exactly the same as we saw in BNB. The percentage of withdrawal over deposit amount is going up a lot. This is partially because, well, for the most part, this is because of the third withdrawal from the early stakers. They had to compound 10 times instead of the 5 times. They introduced around the 29th or 30th of April, and then these guys now have compounded 10 times, and now they're withdrawing. That's why the yellow line's going up. And this is the well, it's the same, but the number of withdrawals and the number of deposit made each day green being withdrawals, and yellow being deposits. So as you can see, around the third, it's the very first time that there are more withdrawals than deposits. It's the count, right? It's the number of withdrawals, not the amount of BUSD. So as you can see, they are more and more, and every week you will see that there are more and more withdrawal accounts because it's a cumulative, right? The number of the wallets that are in the contract, they keep increasing. So this is natural. So okay, so that's pretty much it. Speaking of the compound, I have seen some people talk about the time. Although the timer went to zero, you hit the compound button, the bonus count didn't go up. So I've seen cases like that, real cases, and I think you guys have to take care that let's go to contract. So here, so if you go to the BSC scan, you can take a look at the contract, and there is a chance that the compound bonus count doesn't go up because of the compound bonus variables. Hang on. Somewhere here, daily compound bonus. It's this. So if there's a function that they have your last compound time, and then as soon as you hit the compound button, that calculates the time, not the actual time that it is now, but it's the timestamp embedded into the block. So there could be like a few seconds of difference. So as soon as the timer hits zero and you hit the button compound, there's a chance that the compound count doesn't go up, basically because your last hatch time and that the time embedded in the block, that very block, the difference is not 12 hours. So that's why your compound bonus doesn't go up. So there's a chance, and I talked to George about the issue, see if the dev team can look into it. Like, it'd be good to put like extra seconds on the site so that 100% of the chance that when you hit the button, then the compound bonus goes up. Anyway, so that was the contract piece, and now I wanted to take a deep dive into some of the data I pulled on BUSD Crops Farmer. So yeah, I actually did quite a few things so far. So I look at the ROI by days since their first deposit. So as you can see on BUSD Crops Farmer, as you can see, the guys that deposited on the first day, the day of the launch, the ROI right now, the average though, is sitting at 40%. And then, this is so natural, but always you will see this huge difference between the guys that deposited on the first day and the guys deposited on the second day since the launch. You will see a big difference because the price of the miners, right? So they got more miners for each dollar deposited in the first hour or so. So they got a huge advantage there. That's why you get this difference. And then since I got all the data in my local database, I wanted to do the reward accumulation charts. I created the kind of like a chart and what people are up to when it comes to claiming rewards. So this is the this horizontal axis is the number of hours that you waited since the last compound. So as you can see, the vast majority of people have chosen to let the rewards grow up until 48 hours. So this is natural. And there's another spike here around just one day, accumulation of 24 hours and a you withdraw. So that's, but for the most part, people are choosing to make a withdrawal, but having waited 48 hours since the last compound. And then move on to the ROI part. And as you can see, I drew the trend line. It's the same, but out of all the wallets have deposited, but I kind of limited to those that have deposited in the first 2 days, and excluding the wallets that have received some kind of referral bonus. They're excluded kind of to get rid of any noise in the calculation. So as you can see, the longer you wait, better the ROI is so far, which is quite normal. But that's also causing probably the TVL to go down the track. So I wish the team could make some improvements around here as well. Like there's no if the team wants to sustain the project as long as possible, there's no need to for us to let the rewards accumulate for 2 days. So that's another thing here. Right, and what else have I got? This is like referral wallets versus non-referral wallets. There's not much difference because actual percentage of referral bonus is pretty low compared to other forks of baked beans in this crops farmer. And also, you don't get referral bonus from compounds, so that's why I don't see much difference here, which is kind of weird. I should be seeing somewhat higher ROI from the wallets that have received referral bonus. So, which is weird. We have to get the same data after a couple more weeks, I guess. And then I will link, I put the link to this doc below in the description so you guys can take a look. So this is the list of wallets. I can do some of the filters here, withdrawal amounts, sort by, yeah. So this is better. Yeah. So there are some funny things that guys never deposited but withdrew, things like that. But overall, this is a lot healthier than normal big bean folks, which is good. And guys start to sort of guys that deposits on the first day. I've just sorted by the first deposit time, right? So you start to see a high ROI already because they are into the second and third withdrawal already. So you start to see these guys making more than what they have invested into the contract. And the lower you go, you start to see less and less because these guys didn't get huge advantages on the miners' price. So that's why. Um, anyway, so that's pretty much it for today. If you guys are interested in me and now analyzing other types of contracts, please leave a comment below. Um, Thank you very much.